Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GoMode's podcast, Mentor Tournament of 2021. Today we are having JoshBittner facing off against MisterIbis, and they are being mentored by WorldWideWimpy and Dawnvenure. They'll be guiding them through the seed today and see how well they showcase their skills in this tournament setting. I'm your commentator, EsperHubb, and along with me is Vextopher. How you doing today?
Oh, we're doing good today. Another thing about this race, this is round 2 of the Swiss stages in the Mentor tournament, and I believe that both Josh and MisterIbis are both winners, so they're both 1-0. So this is essentially a winner's match in round 2 of Swiss.
Alrighty, that means one person is going to come away with victory, make themselves continuing that perfect record, as some would call it.
Indeed, I don't know too much about what they usually start, whether they're Uncle starters or CAC starters. I know Dawnvenure really likes to start Uncle. I think he spoke about that earlier on the restream. So I have a feeling that MisterIbis will be starting Uncle. I'm not really sure about WorldWideWimpy and Josh, but here we go. It looks like we're getting immediate divergence in one CAC starter and one Uncle starter.
That Assured Sword definitely, if I was playing on a seed like this with Assured Sword, I would definitely do Uncle start, because that means I get to go ahead and do the escape sequence without much issue. We get an early map check in there. I blinked for a moment and then not realize what happened, but I think we got pretty much some crystals in the light world, so most likely our pendants in the dark world. Let's hope our pendant locations for the dark world is just Turtle Rock and MisterIbis. So we don't want those right now.
No medallion nuts. Oh, we got bombs on the little green shockers.
That's one interesting thing. Like, each enemy has a certain set of prize pool, and that can be randomized as well. And that crab was literally dropping absolutely nothing, or did it?
Yeah, hearts on that, and actually the tier 1 tree pole, which we got over on MisterIbis' side, is also hearts. So he threw a sign at one of the blue guards, set up a tree pole at tier 1, so...
But yeah, getting information on the tree pools as well as the crab's prize drop is very beneficial early, because you will want to find bombs as soon as you can. Mainly to get to some areas that require those for those checks, as well as, for bomb jumping.
Yeah, we're gonna really want either some money or some bombs again on Josh's side going into CAC, although we do find the mitts. So that's a good news, but you need 3 bombs to clear the front of CAC, and or 50 rubies to go buy the 10 bombs out of the shop in the hut at the bottom. And right now we have neither of those things. We have 1 bomb. So hopefully we find some bombs moving forward, or we're going to be farming some rupees.
With it being very early in the seed, it is very likely we'll come across those resources. Probably not in the places where we think it's convenient, though, unfortunately. And that's if the seed is playing funny with us.
Speaking of bombs, we've got 2 bomb drops so far, or 2 bomb chests items so far in the Uncle start. So he's got plenty of bombs over there on MisterIbis' side. Ain't of Samaria.
Yeah, over on Blind Hood.
Yeah, so now he has bombs even if he has to do race game. No buying bombs today for Josh.
We'll still want to keep collecting money, though. Money is always in logic. You'll need it for the potion merchant. You'll need it for the digging game in the dark world, the treasure chest game, and the dark world as well. Entry to pod, which is 110 rupees altogether, and buying from the potion bottom merchant, which was 100 as well, including Zora Lake, where 9 times out of 10 we get scammed.
Life lessons from Zora. Oh, we got boots now in the CAC start. Escape came up pretty much empty, other than some money and some bombs. At least the front. This is actually going to feel pretty nice. Oh, and the Ice Rod. And a medallion. Wow, CAC is loaded.
Boots are huge here. At the very early phase of the seed, getting them early just trims down the time by a lot. You don't think it will, but all those moments where you just dashing through without having to walk so slowly, that time adds up.
For sure. And Josh making the smart play here and getting those 10 rubies dropping in the well a second time so he can pay the bottle merchant for probably another life lesson. Oh, we're getting a bottle. That's actually very convenient.
And it's filled with blood. I have some questions.
Oh man, well, at least we can check Sick Kid though in CAC, so maybe this will just be the flute and then we could just be like the perfect CAC.
Yeah, if this is a perfect CAC, that would be great, but something tells me that's wishful thinking. But with the potion with red in it, that means that you have at the very least a free safety check. Well, not free safety check, but a free safety measure in case, you do something very crazy like go in the Dark World with 3 hearts. But I don't think that'll be possible. I mean, unless our runners pick up the Moon Pearl and Hammer or the Moon Pearl and Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, so I will say one kind of interesting thing, the birds dropped a full magic for MisterIbis over there when he killed one of those birds in the woods. So going into the mini Moldorn cave, if that's the play they make next, he can just use the Ice Rod that he's going to get over here in the well. And
make quick work of the mini Moldrum. Oh my goodness, we got a
pearl
on the library. It's been a while since I've seen a very important item up there. And then the boost conveniently being right before it.
Yeah, no looking around. This is this Kakariko, like every chest, man.
Like Christmas.
Putting our tracker to work.
We get a whole heart in the maze race, so we're not gonna really go ahead and grab that.
Yeah, sitting at 3 hearts, not looking to grab that heart container.
In normal circumstances, if you're playing, I guess, hard item pool settings, you would go ahead and get that heart for safety measures, but we're gonna come across red or blue mail soon enough at some point, so it's fine to skip hearts in this sort of measure. At least in my opinion.
In before all of their mail upgrades are in Ganon's Tower.
Eventually, though, they will come across some more hearts.
No, for sure. They are just very close to Dark World access at this point with that Moon Pearl and one of the Mitts upgrades. So it's a little scary going to Dark World on 3 hearts. We'll see if MisterIbis grabs it when he runs down there.
Okay, so there's something definitely in Dark Cross as we pull up a key from the back of the sewers. We're going to go ahead. I'm pretty sure Josh is going to go right ahead and do a blind check onto that by skipping logic of needing a lantern and just feeling out the room here to get to the Dark Cross room.
Yeah, this key rat's the hard part. Oh, he's got it already, so that's kind of good. Kind of just walked into the swords bin, so hardest part of Dark Cross, definitely the key rat. You can move randomly. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and continue on into the Dark Cross and grab that item there. I think it's the last thing we haven't seen.
Yep, that'll be the last check in the escape sequence. And hopefully it doesn't have too much of a serious progression item. Maybe it's something nice, but I'm gonna hold my breath on that one. Oh, Josh, you need to be careful. He could use his red potion now to make sure he doesn't really kick the bucket.
Taking the death. I bet he doesn't go back for that right now.
Meanwhile, MisterIbis has gone into the swamp part of the south shore of the Hyrule. He's going to go ahead and do those checks there.
we're gonna drain the well, and then we're gonna go over to probably Mini-Moldorm Cave. Although with the boots, it's just a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump over to check Agina and check the desert ledge.
Yeah, boots make that kind of play a little bit more comfortable compared to just going to there. But more preferably, if you end up getting the flute, that would make it a lot more lucrative to do.
For sure. Yep, we're not doing it over on MisterIbis' side. I have a feeling we also will not do it on Josh's side, but we'll see. All right, well, how are we taking care of these mini boulders? We're going to use bombs. We're going to use the ice rod. Oh, looks like ice rod.
Bit of mixy slashes and magic. Bit of a battle mage today.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's that bird drop with the full magic. Save us some time.
Nothing much.
We are getting Agina on Josh's side. Check desert ledge. Oh, we're not going to check desert ledge though. I don't think he ran over.
I don't think there's much of an incentive to check desert ledge compared to just going in here and taking a look at what check you can acquire at the very least, especially since you don't have the book or flute and mirror and oh, there's our hammer.
Ooh,
we got Dark World access.
That's a disgusting place for that hammer too.
Oh man, that's a oh no situation. So how long do you think it'll take MisterIbis to go ahead and check Agina's cave for that hammer? Because that's a no bueno moment.
I feel like he's gonna go up the mountain even first. Out of logic. Ooh. Although maybe not. I don't know. He may. Hopefully he doesn't go to Eastern first. We're getting our water walking checks.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to check the waterfall cave first. And then, well, you don't have money for the big man Zori, so it'd probably be a great idea to, after this, save and quit.
We got Hype Cave going straight into the mirror in Hype Cave.
And Josh is just pulling further away as far as item progression goes at this point. It is pretty astounding. Just made the right play in going into Agina, the Agina cave first, and then just after that, everything just started falling to his lap.
It looks like we got a 5/6 in Thieves, 5/6 in Ice. We got a Pendant in Mire and a green Pendant Pod.
So that does mean that ice rod is going to be useful.
Hobo with the fire rod, though. That's a pretty bad spot for the fire rod.
Yep. If man, how long Josh will take to get to that fire rod, we will soon enough find out at some point.
I think we're gonna get funneled on MisterIbis' side over to that hammer before Josh checks Hobo. But
yeah, Hobo's pretty out there. You don't normally think it will be you normally don't think one-shot items will have your super important things that you'll need to finish the sea, but lo and behold, we're here in two different situations where both one-off areas, Hobo and Agina, having both the hammer and fire rod.
That should make our viewers pretty happy though, because this makes it a lot closer than one person last locating hammer for Dark World.
Yeah, let's hope that hammer is not going to be Ibis last location at this point, which I highly doubt is going to be the last location now though too. Something's gonna lead them to desert, and that will be the moment they'll come across the hammer.
We are getting our dark cross check here. Maybe. See what Stumpy has over in Josh's side.
That's just 50 rupees.
So I guess we're clearing south. We're gonna go over to dig game. Here we have the mirror so we can check K45 even.
Meanwhile, Dark Cross has something super important that Josh would have probably been happy at getting when he attempted it, which was half magic.
Oh, man, he's not going to need it, so he probably isn't going to go back there.
The half magic this early means that you don't have to worry much about your magic uses as much. Makes the fight against Trinex a lot easier to manage, as well as Mothula, making that a trivial fight.
Yeah, he can clear. Once he gets his hammer, he can clear Skullwoods. Looks like we're gonna wonder if Saha's hut coming up empty, but we'll see if he goes all the way into Eastern and takes a dip.
It's not an offensive play to do if you don't know where your next item is at. Dipping in Eastern early is a pretty quick dungeon to go through because it's the very first dungeon, of course. As we get flippers from the digging game.
That might take him to Hobo, so sooner.
I wouldn't say sooner. It's going to take him to there now, but I'd have preferred if Josh went into the Dark World still. And
yeah, I think he's going to Village of Outcasts first.
Oh, he's going back to Village of Outcasts. Okay, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, he's got the hammer, so. Yeah, this Eastern dip, hopefully we find something that gets us somewhere, but hammer, I mean, he's got this choice and then basically in logic and then essentially, Agina, so.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ibis is going through the middle, I want to say the middle part of the Eastern Palace, which is usually checking the right room, the left room, and then going on to the back room if you ever feel so inclined. But
now Josh will have to come back here because he hasn't visited Hobo, so he cannot clear Skullwoods. But he can clear Thieves Town, and that's a 5/6 crystal. I believe that's what we'll get. We'll get all these checks and then go clear Thieves Town, most likely.
In this kind of a situation, even if I do not have the fire rod yet, I will still go to Skullwoods just through the front part checks. Doing those may end up giving you the progression needed because all you have to do, well, you can easily leave out the front part and then go do other things. And then when you need to go back in, you can quickly go through it's very quick to go in and out of Skullwoods, basically.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's going to do because that leads him pretty easily over into getting a little peek at Bumper Ledge, and then he can actually do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb.
Yes.
For the Dark World, so. And with the flippers, he can go to and Titan's Mitts. It's C-shaped house.
So, Iblis is completely locked out of Dark World unless Iblis manages to get to Agina as soon as possible or beat up Aga 1. But we all know that's not the correct play call here.
Oh yeah, he'll check. I have to imagine we'll go to Agina first. And he couldn't go to Aga anyways without the cape or the Master Sword, so.
Yeah, without cape, Master Sword, and even a lantern, there's really no point in doing the Aga 1 unless you're really good at navigating through the dark area in Agina 1, and even then, that's still like a waste of time. Especially we can get the hammer at the Agina's cave.
Yeah, I wonder if Josh, after he gets through this Thieves Town dungeon here, I wonder if he's gonna head all the way north Dark World and cross with the flippers. Go ahead and check Catfish while he's up there.
I feel like he'll eventually will. Like, the flippers is definitely going to direct him to go to check out Hyrule Lake and then check Hobo, and then go ahead and, if he wants to, go ahead and check Pyramid Ledge, then to Catfish, then mirror into the Zora Domain in order to check out those checks as well. I feel like that'll be the proper route and decision from here.
We're going up the mountain, it looks like here. We're going to probably check Lumberjack on the way and then go up the mountain on MisterIbis' side. So we're even further from the hammer.
I think he's checking this because he has boots. And he feels like if Agena has something, he will have to go ahead and look for the lantern and such to immediately go there. But as we saw, it's just a piece of art. So again, it may not be hard required in his mind, but we know it's definitely not required once he gets to Agena's cave.
Yeah, well, this is the best time to check it. If you're going to go up the mountain this way, it's one less screen transition to check it now than it would have been earlier.
That is true.
Oh, those grasshoppers getting in the way, like they always do.
And I didn't notice it before, but Josh ended up finding the blue mail in this dungeon. So
first chest of thieves, I think, was blue mail.
Yeah, I figured they'll be popping up at some point. It wouldn't leave our runners high and dry. It wouldn't be those kinds of seas. That was like 2 days ago or so.
Old man giving us some reading material. That's probably going to lead us to desert, so maybe that does lead in there. That's actually probably a pretty advantageous find.
That is
out of logic.
Out of logic, but that will help influence the decision of going into desert in order to do those checks, in order to take a look at the Agena's cave to get the much needed hammer to get into Dark World. I know I've been saying that a lot, but that's how urgent Ibis needs this. He needs that hammer to keep progressing further without doing much one-off checks. Just kind of want to minimize that.
Yeah, the only bad thing here for MisterIbis is that it's probably more likely that he's going to go clear out at least the front of desert, if not the whole dungeon, before he jumps down and gets Agena's cave. And desert's pendant as a seed, so unless he decides that he should check Agena first.
Here's hoping as we come up to the moment of truth of what they're going to do in the desert battles. Well, what they're going to do in the desert.
In the meantime, we got a blind script for Josh here. We'll see how this goes.
Good start.
Little off script, but I think it's going to be okay. Oh.
Taking a little bit, one too many hits though. That may be an issue. Pulling out the red cane because you can still do damage with it, but you might want to just pull the red potion. There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna drink the goo, throw the block, set it down, let blind bonk his head a couple times. And we got through it.
Down he goes. Meanwhile, Ibis got his hammer, so that's Dark World access for them. They're gonna go ahead and take a look into the Desert Palace, though, with the book in hand. And this makes sense when you think about, oh, I just got this from Mountain. Maybe there's something in here I can quickly check. And here's hoping that the 2 item checks in here will lead me to something else. If not, then that's okay. It's not that much of a huge loss. We did these checks anyway, and plus we can just leave as soon as we can.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes and finishes off the boss. If the boss doesn't have if the boss does have an item.
We do get a small key as on the torch. Thankfully, with the early boots, that means we can get to this and check the rest of the dungeon out and see what it has in store for us.
They're probably hoping, MisterIbis is probably hoping that we can get 2 items here, because without 2 items, you're making a decision on pendant landmo.
And not even just like pendant landmo, just like a non-green pendant landmo.
Yeah, bad pendant landmo. Alright, we do see Josh taking the front of Skullwood's play here.
All right, 2 more chests left.
We did get a key, so.
Well, that's item number 1, which was some bombs. Hopefully the big key chest has our other item, and if not, then this is a situation.
Taking the interesting path through Skullwood since we didn't get a key in the first chest in the front. Gotta drop down and run backwards, backtrack a little bit, but we got the pinball room. Big chest is the map, so we do have an item on landmo, and we're not gonna see it.
Smart decision from there. Like, you got Dark World access right now. Just go ahead and do that. If worst case scenario, when you get to Misery Mire to do those checks, you can check Lamo there.
Well, Myers pinned it, so
Yeah, I was gonna say if Mire's definitely appended, but you still got like checks outside of Misery Mire. There's Checkerboard Cave as well as the Mire Shed, which has 2 more checks. So if you're really gonna go in to do Mire, at least do those checks and then go into beat up Lamo after that, and then go into Misery Mire.
okay, so we're going Village of Outcast start here first for MisterIbis. So he is going to be missing out on that mirror that we found in Hive Cave, I believe. On Josh's side. So Josh is making the play where we get everything out of the front of Skullwood. Since he has not been to Hobo for the Firewide, we're going to check Bumper Ledge and then head over, most likely check Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. Possibly go all the way over to Catfish. We'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, with the mirror in hand, this helps out a lot of the helps a lot of decision making as far as this goes.
Yeah,
this is.
Let's say, unfortunately, this does bring up the possibility of him orphaning Hobo pretty bad. Because he can mirror, if he does go up to Catfish, he can mirror check Zora area and Waterfall Fairy. And so Hobo will be left all by his lonesome, holding onto his burning stick. We got our Titansmiths here out of C-shaped house over on MisterIbis' side.
Ibis is looking not cover the tracks, but trace the tracks that Josh have been making. So,
although I don't think we did see hammer pegs, I don't think Josh went and checked that.
Yeah, he didn't check that at all. So we're gonna go ahead and get a first look into this.
Yeah, he'll probably leave the Smith chain for later. With the mirror, it's a nice little path to walk all the way up towards King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge. So I can understand why you'd leave the Smith chain for later. But from MisterIbis' perspective, he does not have the mirror, and so Smith chain's looking a lot more attractive to him after he finishes up these down. Although he can clear Skullwoods, which he'll likely do first. So we are going to go over to Catfish, it looks like, on Josh's side.
And Ibis is going straight into Thieves' Town's dungeon. All right, then. So what would our Catfish have today? You know, I'm kind of surprised our runners didn't start working towards getting some money to check Zora out, because who knows, Zora may have our flute, but that's wishful thinking. Who knows what Zora has at this point.
We don't necessarily need the flute, so it is always nice to have, but we do not need it.
Oh yeah, you're right, because Misery Mire is not required.
We could still have lamp access, bombos on Catfish. That could be useful since we do not know the medallion.
I was gonna say that would be a vanilla medallion, but then I realized that Quake is what you get from that Catfish, not bombos.
Yeah, look, this money, or the money in this seed has been pretty lacking. Neither runner, despite having checked it very different times, having money to go to King Zora.
Something tells me that the rest of the seed is going to be backloaded. And by backloaded, I mean you're just going to find 300s here, there, and everywhere in Ganon's Tower.
That does seem to happen. They're either all on the front or all on the back. Alright, so we got MisterIbis continuing here through Thieves' Town.
And it looks like Josh is not opting to save and quit, except instead they're probably going to go ahead and warp back into Dark World and then go ahead and...
No, we're going to go do Hobo.
Oh, okay.
Very fortuitous decision. We're going to check the island and go do Hobo, most likely.
Yeah, this is the better play. Because what I was...
Oh, no! Oh, no! No! Oh, Josh. That's going to feel bad later.
You hate to see it happen.
Yeah, it's not that crazy of a decision because Hobo just takes so long to swim up to. But you know, if he ends up having to go independent pod, he can always jump down and
Okay,
grab
this
it with the
kind of
mirror.
makes sense. This kind of makes sense what he's doing. He saved and quit just so he can get to Hype Cave, and then he's gonna go do Hobo
We've already
and
checked
make his
Hype
way
Cave.
toward. Oh wait, he did. Okay,
Yeah, he started in South Dark World here. He got the mirror, I think, out of Hype Cave.
yeah. That decision to save and quit made no sense then,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
unless at this point our mentor telling our mentee that you forgot Hobo, you should go check it. Please do.
Oh,
Please. Okay, there we go.
That is.
There we go.
You know what? Honestly, if you wanted to be in the Dark World, because you are gonna go, you know, dip pod or check the ledge, the save and quit and then to check Hobo this way probably is faster than trying to swim up there.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's what I was gonna say. Like, especially if you didn't do Hype Cave, but they already did Hype Cave. But yeah, they got their fire rod, and now they're gonna go on their merry way. They're probably gonna go back to Skull Woods though. But you know,
I think they may check Pyramid Ledge and then go.
Pyramid Ledge, then go back to Skull Woods to finish it off. But what I was gonna say, I wouldn't put past this seed for it to have the bow. And in Palace of Darkness, it did so last time.
Now I will say that before making this play, we could have done Ice Palace because we do have, well, possibly with the cane almost certainly, but with Ice Palace being our other 5/6 crystal, we could have done Pyramid Fairy here with this check, but. Actually, Josh has not done the front of Escape or Uncle yet, so
this
does make more sense that way.
Pretty excellent call to go ahead and do the checks for Uncle as well as Escape. I feel like after all of this, they're going to go ahead and make the decision. They have the decision of dipping into pod and seeing things are there, but like I said before, Ice Palace is opened up to us. There's nothing else in the way that will prevent us from going to prevent us from finishing that dungeon, especially since we do got some more arcane. So
so we are gonna do Mirrorless Smith. No, we're just gonna do South World and do race game into probably.
Wow, where is Mirror?
Mirror was in Hype Cave.
Oh, okay.
We started Village of Outcast on.
Right.
It's the side, so. Yeah, so I think Ibis, you might actually take the Smith with him down to do all his checks. He'll probably just run the loop down South Dark World here and head over and into the Hype Cave. But yeah, I think the next play after Escape here. I mean, there's a bunch of items at Escape. We know that there's nothing there, but this is not unreasonable from Josh. I wonder if he's gonna. There is an item in Dark Cross, and we do know that it's half magic. So I wonder if they'll go back for it after taking that death earlier.
I feel like they may they attempted it once. I feel like they're obligated to try to get to Dark Cross again at this point. So
got blue mail, a lot more health. I think they'll be good. And we're about to get our mirror over here on MisterIbis' side.
So as far as item goes, we're still missing Hookshot. We're still missing the bow. We don't know for sure what our entry is needed for Turtle Rock. And I believe that's our go mode.
Yep. Just the Turtle Rock entry and Hookshot in bow. So
It was about to save and quit, and I think Mentor was intervening because there may be another check or two that the.
Well, he has the book. Well, no, wait. Yeah, he's gonna go to ice. It looks like here. He's just gonna mirrored
Yeah,
over into ice.
Yeah, Ice Palace seems to be the better idea at this point.
I don't think he checked the island, so he may. Nope.
He did Hobo. I'm pretty sure they checked the island.
Okay. Yeah, but we are making the Ice Palace play here. So.
Yeah, I remember them going into Waterfall Ferry, leaving out, and then going back into the whirlpool to check Hobo, and then went up to the island that way.
Ice Palace not quite so bad with half magic and the fire rod, even on fighter sword. I think we'll be okay. It's gonna feel pretty good for MisterIbis here whenever he does decide to go check. You know, when he goes to check Pyramid Ledge, because he'll be able to chain his bomb in there for Pyramid Fairy. Get those 2 checks as well, so that'll feel pretty good. We're probably making the same ice play over here on Josh's side, or maybe not.
And never get those this penguin sequence.
Oh, the bomb.
Yeah. Usually at this point, if you don't know how to do it, a Bombos medallion would work better in this situation.
We got hammer strats on the ping gators, so that works too.
Meanwhile, Josh is investing in some safety with the blue potion there, which is not a bad decision to do.
No, especially getting ready to go in. He did not check Dark Cross.
He did. He has had.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that was a quick icebreaker on MisterIbis' side.
Excellent sword buffering right there. But yeah, he did check Dark Cross, but he did end up using the red potion that he got earlier from the on the blind fight. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it is time for our good friend Josh to go through his peeking of the Eastern Palace as well as the back room.
And that's good for MisterIbis on his side if you're a MisterIbis fan, because both runners probably going to make the same Eastern Palace dip, so no real net time loss there.
Speaking of potions, we got Ibis taking a chug of his red to make sure he doesn't die on the next hit.
So I don't know how comfortable you are with Ice Palace logic.
I don't even think about it. If I just had the Samora cane, everything's okay. If not, then I just start crying.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they could get a lot of information here. I don't know, maybe chat can help us out here. But, I believe that because that big key was over on the right side of Ice Palace, that it is hookshot locked. But I'm not good enough with the logic to make that claim, so...
I just run through the rooms and try to get to this area as soon as possible and do Teen Slime and leave. I don't think too hard on it to be honest.
Yeah, so Mr. Aaron Esnerd helping me out here and saying that it is hookshot locked, and that was what I had thought as well. So, oh, the Quake medallion does work on ping gators. Nice. So now we're getting the ice play from Josh. So both our runners sitting here in Ice Palace at the same time.
You know, I kind of wonder if it's faster going through this way instead of doubling back into the one room. Feels like there's more transitions needed to do this sequence instead of doubling back.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think doubling back and hitting the switch for a lot of the in ice. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh no! Like after you know how you went to how you get to Teen Slime room? Yeah, after you get that on, you could just double back and go back into this room and then go downstairs instead of going upstairs, going up the ice room to hit the switch, and then going into like 2 more doors and falling down a pit.
Well, we've got the Cane of Samaria, so I'm not sure. that we're getting.
Oh, he's going to get a fairy.
Getting some fairies. Gotcha.
This is a good idea to do.
Good idea. He's got the bug net too, so we can capture one. We got Josh attempting icebreaker over here on his side.
I don't know what it is, but like watching people be a little bit timid trying to hit into that clip feels weird to do. But he manages to get that frame one push.
Yeah, that's a good buffer for that.
Very excellent buffer there.
Oh, we've trapped ourselves with the skull pots.
Yeah, that can happen.
Grabbing some magic over there. We know we're on fighter sword. We've got a cold stare fight that we're staring down. We might as well. And we don't have Bombo's tablet, so we know we're breathing fire rod shots. So the more magic, the better for us. Over there on MisterIbis' side, so.
Thankfully, with half magic, this is like just takes half the shots. But here's hoping we get some spins to finish the fight up cleanly. Oh wow, that is some nice shots there. That is some excellent shots.
Got one more shot.
Oh, chef kiss right there. That fight couldn't have gone any better given the circumstances. And that is our bow right there.
Cold stare. That's good.
That is.
Brothers are gonna get that here coming up shortly. That'll take him right back into Eastern Palace.
Right back to Eastern, and then we're gonna go straight. Well, I guess if you really want to, for item density checks, we can go into pod and see if we can find a hook shot there.
That's the. I think that might be the play, at least on Josh's side. I'm not really sure what. Not sure what the play is going to be over on MisterIbis' side, because he has not done any of the mirror checks over. In North Dark World, so. Seed's not giving us a sword. We are assured one sword. We are not assured more than one sword. Well, we're assured at least two swords.
Oh, this is a nice bomb jump footage from this section. You don't normally see people go for this. Usually they're already like coming down the stairs from here, but that's an excellent bomb jump right there.
Yep, that's the freest bomb jump in the game, as my mentor likes to say. You walk straight up and then just place the bomb and stand still.
Ibis taking his speaking of bombs, we got a big bomb with Ibis today, so he's gonna check the pyramid fairy.
Yep, and the pyramid ledge, because he's not done that either.
So yeah, they're definitely gonna go ahead and do that check, and most likely after the check for the pyramid area, they're gonna go ahead. They can either go to catfish, but I feel like with the bow that you got now, you might as well just go ahead and do Eastern. Like there's nothing stopping you from finishing Eastern up right now, and then going into pod for hook shot.
Yeah, they're either gonna, although they will almost completely orphan catfish if they do that. We do also have Zora money, but we don't have Zora and pod money. We have one or the other.
I feel like at this point, going into pod will give us more money, especially when you go into the basement, because those are plenty of 5 rubies.
That is true. That might make their decision for them. It looks like that's where they're gonna head. I bet we go into pod. We might even go into pod first, knowing that we can finish Eastern and we can do that whenever.
Like worst case scenario, you last location Bombos medallion, and even then, Bombos may not be needed to get into Turtle Rock. And if it did, well, we got some checks, plenty of checks that we can take care of before doing so.
Cold stare fight not going quite as well for Josh, but we did pick up a fairy, so you're gonna be fine.
And down goes Cold Stare for Josh, finishing up his fight. He's gonna pick up his bow, and he's gonna probably take the ascendant route to go into Eastern and pod as well. So we're gonna see some shenanigans today as far as like pod routing goes.
Yeah, so we're gonna check. We're gonna go into Eastern. I was curious as to whether they were gonna have him go if Dawn was, or if they were gonna go and check the shooter room first and then go into Eastern, but looks like we're just gonna finish off Eastern, see if that one item helps us and makes it so we don't have to do pod. Is it the hook shot?
Yeah, if it's hook shot, then you can just abandon. You can definitely abandon pod play, and then check to the rock. And then if it does end up being bombos, then you'll go back to pod and then go to catfish. At least that will be my decision as far as routing goes. It should things come to that situation.
Oh, I guess Josh hasn't even checked Ice Road Gate.
Not a bad time to take a look in there. I mean, too bad it's only 5 rupees.
Like we're in the dark room of Eastern here. Gotta put your little hunter's mark on the Igor, which, you know, is... I don't know how that Igor did. I feel like it actually moved and blinked with an arrow hit to it. Yeah, the nice thing about that room, it is actually in well, I think they got the big key early enough that it would have been in logic with just the fire rod in Eastern Palace. I think the big key was on the not in the vanilla chest. All right, getting ready to go fight the Armos Knights here on MisterIbis' side. We'll see what strategy he's going to use.
Looks like he's probably going to line up for a quick kill on the south side.
The Ice Armos version. Oh, we're just gonna...
Ends up messing up, but you know what? That's fine. He still gets it in a clean manner. Cleans it up pretty well.
Oh yeah, not a bad fight.
I was gonna say this is kind of like the first time I saw someone taking it from that side, but it didn't seem to work out that well as one of the Armos started to close in for the first section of the of their fight.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit even easier on the ice because you get the ice momentum moving up, so you can start shooting.
Yeah.
From the side, but no, definitely not a bad fight. So now we're getting the pod checks. Would not surprise me if they find a hookshot in pod. But it also, with Rando being Rando, would not surprise me if they find hookshot in Hookless Swamp. Just making our way through pod. Opening pod up on Josh's side. He probably will also do Eastern first.
Oh, there's a flute.
Yeah, that don't really want to see that necessarily.
Hey, buddy, I think you got the wrong door. Misery Bar is 2 blocks down.
Yeah, I don't think they're too happy to see the flute at this point. So flute would probably be our logical mountain access, though.
Yep.
And so that book is even deeper.
Oh man, what if the hook shot was in the tablets?
Well, they do have boots to cross, so yeah. Yes, Pet's not dead, so.
I'm at the tablets, not Ped, but
Oh, over that too.
That's even worse.
I'm just saying it's possible. But you know, on the
Oh, now that's a very good clip.
That's a good clip.
That is a very good clip.
I honestly don't think I've seen that before.
It's not much of a common like. I think it's a door extension clip of some sort. But feel free to correct me on this one, Chad. But it's the first time I seen it. Seen it in action. It's not a very common one that you'll do, given the situation. But you know how Rando is gonna Rando. So
well, I lied to everyone. Eastern is lamp locked. The big key is vanilla. So we are going to grab this money, like you suggested, just so we had enough for Zora.
And yeah, Ibis just picked up the lantern.
Yeah, fire rod locked lantern.
What is this seed? Why is it like this all of a sudden?
It's actually surprising how often the lamp is locked in the basement of pod for logical reasons. So actually, both Mountain Act, you had to come in logically into Green Pendant Pod to be on the mountain, basically in logic, because both the flute and the lamp are both here.
And I do believe that is all that our pod has to offer. That is all of our items, hopefully. Yeah, we're not gonna check that. We are above the influence of checking green pendants right now today.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna get a Skullwoods clear on, or a flute activation followed by Skullwoods clear here on MisterIbis' side. We might do part of the Smith chain, but probably not.
Ladies and gentlemen, all rise for the national anthem.
Just finishing up Eastern here over here on Josh's side, and then he will most likely make the same pod play that we just saw from MisterIbis. And we are going straight into the Dark World here after activating the flute, so that probably means
time to go into skulls and finish the fight.
Gonna be killing Mothula here.
All right, let's see how Josh handles. Oh wow, they're doing the
same way. Josh is gonna take it safe here.
Yeah,
3 arrows apiece. Just get them all.
Take 3 and call me in the morning. We are finished with that fight.
It's safe and controlled.
I was really hoping for some quick kills today. I mean, our runners can still do some quick kills, like on the Trinex fight, if they manage to get a tempered or butted sword.
Yeah.
If we can come across under the sword, that is.
A sword at all.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's done a lot of checks and not found any swords.
And we're like 3 crystals in already. 1 hour in. What is with you, Seed? Why are you, you know what? With the offset of having our progression items this early, I think I am okay with this.
Yeah, I mean, everything was in CAC. And so we just have a whole bunch of checks to do to find it. It's just gonna feel like you don't find anything for a long time because there's just so much open to you.
Yep. While our runners are retracing steps and are finishing up the loose ends of our Dark World area, do give our runners and mentors a follow for doing a fantastic performance today. They're doing a great job navigating through this sea with a good, clean, concise method of doing so, despite it being a little bit divergent here and there. Do also give a follow to our tracker, who's doing an excellent job of making sure to keep track of all the items that have been acquired and accumulated, as well as our Restreamer, who is doing a fantastic job of making sure everything is set ready for streaming this to us now, as well as give a follow to my co-commentator here, doing a fantastic job so far.
So we should probably mention this at this point. Josh did not dip pod. And so it is going to be down that flute and that
Down the flute and lantern.
and the flute and the lamp. And hey, that could very well not matter at all.
That is true, but logically speaking, you need the flute or the lantern, one or the other, in order to get into Death Mountain. So
That is true, but
they will be doing some speed running degeneracy doing this, but not that I don't mind.
logic is a suggestion.
Walls is just merely a suggestion as speed running goes.
Yeah, another couple of words I think about the mentor tournament. Like I know how many questions I'm one of the mentees. I'm also racing in the tournament, but our mentors have been so helpful to effort. And it's a lot of time trying to explain silly questions, and so everything about Go Mode Podcast putting on this mentor tournament is just excellent. Get more people involved, having more fun.
Well, before we get back to our plug of the Go Mode Podcast, we did get a check on Ped, and Ped is dead. It does not have our hook shot, and both of our runners are going to be finishing up Skull Woods. But going back to what you mentioned about Go Mode Podcast, they do have a website that you can check into that has a podcast that talks about Link to the Past randomized. Who would have thunk it? Not only has great information there that they talk and elaborate, they also talk about the events that is revolving around Link to the Past randomized, such as like the Challenge Cup, some Plandos, or you can listen in to some of the tips and tricks that they got, as well as partake in the bi-weekly seed that they set up that helps showcase the stuff that they talked about during that podcast. It is very excellent. They do have a Discord. You can join them. They're very good people. And it's just, if you really want to dip your feet into the Link to the Past randomizer, I would wholeheartedly recommend them as the first group of people with the great resources to just get into it, because they do a good job of covering a lot of stuff.
All right, well, back to the race here. We're about to get the book here over on Josh's side. He's going up the mountain now, and he did not dip pod, as we are all well aware. We're going to find out pretty quick whether or not that was a good decision or bad. We're probably going to get all of our Death Mountain checks with that hammer and with that mirror. We can go up the left side and get to our east dark Death Mountain checks as well. Possibly even get into Turtle Rock, depending on the medallion needed. We're gonna get a lot of information coming up real fast from both runners, actually.
Yeah, it looks like both of our runners came in at the same, started their climb nearly at the same time. So this is despite going into pod to check in for those checks, they're pretty much tied up so far.
Yeah, well, because we've got some extra checks over on. Oh no, we're talking to the bubble. He's gonna have a long little song for us to read. Oh, there we go. That's different every seed, that text box, but it's always very long, and it feels real bad. All right, so we're gonna read the ether tablet, which is just some rupees.
Okay, so we're slowly breathing out a sigh of relief that the tablets may not be required to finish the seed or holding our hook shot, but we're still going to go into Tower of Hair to get this dungeon crystal and hopefully move on to Turtle Rock. Hopefully, if we have the right medallion for it. Who knows? It could be just Ether medallion, and that would be silly.
Yeah, but we definitely still need a hookshot to finish Swamp. So I think hookshot, provided the Turtle Rock medallion we can get in, hookshot's going to be our goal move most likely.
And Iblis attempted to do coffee break, ended up failing it. Now he's in the jail. He has to start whacking at these tiles and making sure he doesn't get bludgeoned all day.
Oh, he's having a good time though. Here, throw the boomerang. Just try not to get bored.
Yeah, as you can see on Josh's side, who manages to get coffee breaker and takes the time to take a moment to gather his thoughts as he probably going over some things with their mentor. But all in all, same thing, same process. As we get it from our chest, the big key, which is logically here because, you know, without it, we can't really progress further into the dungeon.
Not without the hook shot.
Not without the hook shot, which is our go mode item at this point.
Yeah, the easiest way to set up the coffee break for sure is the Canis Amara. If you got it, it's just throw it down, stand in the spot, press the button.
But you gotta do a little bit of menuing. That takes up a lot of time. No, I'm just kidding. That does not take a lot of time. Just do it. Just do it. Just push start. Quickly navigate to that red cane and push start again. You can do it in probably 3 button pushes on the direction pad or less if you're very lucky. Well, not very lucky, but very intuitive.
We've got, looks like we're going to get all of our items here right at the end. One on Molder, one in the box.
I'm going to press the bomb jump by Iblis, so they're not going to have that much issue going upstairs. Like, usually you'll go upstairs to fall down in order to get to that big chest, but with a good bomb jump, that saves you some time in doing that. And it looks like Josh is doing the same thing. Just got to make sure they line up correctly with the sword spin buffer. Hopefully they'll get it right. Oh, looks
I think he's in the red slot anyways.
There we go. So yeah, excellent work of the bomb jumps for both runners. So back to standard procedure. Pay a visit to the Big Moor himself and give him a good hammering or two, because you just need 3 hammer strikes on him and down he goes. And it was taking an unfortunate fall.
Everyone falls on Moldor.
Everyone, no exceptions.
You tell me somebody who hasn't fallen on Moldor, and I'll eat my words. But
yeah, that was fall number 1 for the Big Moor,
Yeah, we're on hammer too, so.
Oh, and that's fall number 2 for Iblis, but that's like 0-2 for Moor in the run against the runners.
Oh, we get it on Josh's side.
Josh finishes up the fight, beats up the Big Moor, and gets a single arrow for his efforts. Paradise Cave and Spiral Cave are up ahead, so maybe there's something there. Hopefully there's something there.
There is not, because we already got those checks from MisterIbis earlier.
Oh, yeah, right.
So we've seen that. Josh has not seen those. MisterIbis has seen those, and so
Spike Cave, perhaps?
No, he's gonna do dark. So Josh is gonna go and jump down Spiral. He's probably gonna check the island, check Turtle Rock Medallion. Well, yeah, we're gonna just go into the Dark World first. Looks like, because we have the mirror. So
yeah, we're gonna check to see what is the moment of truth for our entry for not Misery Mire, but Turtle Rock. Is it the Bombos? Is it the Quake or Ether Medallion? And it's the Bombos Medallion.
Oh no, this is not good news.
This is not good for Iblis at all.
No, if anybody was not watching at the time, the Bombos Medallion is on Catfish.
Yeah, this does not spell good at all. And here is how long we think Iblis will last location in that area.
Well, we still don't have the Zora check, so maybe not as long, because they just now got the money fairly recently, both runners, and so he will be forced up there at some point.
All right, so Super Money Hop Cave does not have our Go Mode item.
You're right. We actually have not seen parents. was mistaken because we didn't have hammer when we went up here as MisterIbis the first time. If anyone ever walks into the wrong Light World cave when trying to move up the mountain, just remember the popular mnemonic that several people have mentioned to me before. Right is light.
That's funny.
There's a Master Sword, finally.
Finally, a sword. After like an hour of into this scene, and we're about to like close it up.
Yeah, this has been a pretty quick scene. But, oh, another sword.
Where's our Project sword? Where is it? It has to be in the other two chests. Come on, gang. Give it to us.
Oh, silver arrows.
And there's a red rank. Ugh.
Yeah, well, that's just comforting. Now you're just not too worried about the Ganon fight at the end.
Yeah, Ganon is now a trivial fight at this point. And not sure if that will make a difference if Josh ends up skipping that, but we'll find out soon enough.
I think Josh is probably going to do Turtle Rock while he's here. Whereas MisterIbis is not going to be able to.
Well, it looks like Josh is...
soon find out.
Okay, yeah, Josh is going to Paradox. Okay. So
Yep.
He will get his swords. Ibis is going to come up here and realize that Bombless Medallion is required, and then hopes that Bunny Hop Cave will get his will have his things, but we both know that it's not the case.
Yeah, this does work out. This route does work out pretty good for him because I mean, besides the fact that he doesn't have Bombos, because he's going to be able to go and check Super Bunny and check the first check of Hookshot Cave, and then he's going to want to come over and probably do Spike Cave. Well, we don't have any invincibility items, so he's got that blue pot. Well, we don't have a lot of hearts, so I don't even know if we can do Spike Cave.
It's not enough hearts to do Spike K, especially without no blue cane or cape at this point.
We are getting the bonk chest and Hookshot Cave, which is just a heart piece. Oh, Josh missing the bomb jump in Paradox Cave. See if he tries it again or just walks out. Yeah.
He just walks out. That makes sense. That makes sense right there. But yet, Ibis got to do some overall checks. More particularly, we want him to go do catfish check to get his bombo so he can go into Turtle Rock.
Yep. Catfish and it's gonna be an extra mountain climb for MisterIbis.
It looks like he's reading our minds.
I was gonna say, I think he's actually gonna head there first.
Though he could be going in back into pod to finish up.
This isn't that terrible of a play either, because the closest you're gonna be. No, we are just gonna go to Catfish, it looks like. This is a good. In his mind, he also has Zora, King Zora.
Yeah, haven't checked Zora, so he has the money for that. So yeah, this will be great. What if Zora has our hook shot?
Oh, jeez. It's possible. Oh, that would be roller coaster of emotions here. Yeah, but odds are, as Josh is probably telling himself, Hookshot's probably just in Turtle Rock on Laser Bridge. Gonna be real happy they decided to come up and check Catfish and Zora area once they get this. Oh, there's our butter sword, though.
We're almost at full power here, ladies and gentlemen.
We went from no swords to all of our swords in the span of about 3 minutes. Yeah, so we are gonna complete this and make sure that Zora does not have our hookshot. We'll see if he goes and grabs that heart container on the ledge. I doubt it.
He's on blue now. I doubt it as well. He's gonna find a lot more pieces of heart or heart pieces along the way for looking for this hook shot. So, and it's just 20 rupees.
Got a scam coming out of Zora. Running a racket. Josh taking the death warp. No harm. Oh, that is a... Oh, I thought he was dead rocked over there on MisterIbis' side.
Yeah,
that would have been a very awkward dead rock.
Dead Rock's just rude. Really, really rude enemies.
Yeah, so the MisterIbis is immediately going to go and check Turtle Rock for the pure density play.
So in this situation, if Armanus does not come across the hookshot in this dungeon, it could be in Misery Mire, it could be in Desert Palace, it could be in the Tablet of Bombos, and it could be Green Pendant Prize from Helmsor.
We also have the entire Smith chain.
Oh man.
Minus hammer pegs, and we have powder, so that's probably going to look pretty attractive as soon as this is done.
Yeah.
Although fluting over to Mire area and checking the Mire shed and checking Misery and at least K45 probably looks pretty good too. Honestly, both plays are not terrible because there's 2 items in Hookshot Cave, 2 items in Misery Mire, 1 item on checkerboard. So
it just depends on what you think of first at this point. It's just a flip a coin. Result's going to be the same at this point.
Actually, I mean, I think the density play is probably also slower, but the density play would be to go to the Desert Mire area because you've got 1 more item on land modes, and you've got 5 in the Dark Mire area, including the dungeon itself. So that's 6 items versus the 3 you get on Smith Chain with power. Well, 4 in Josh's case because he didn't do hammer pigs. So you get Smith, purple chest, powder or magic bat, and hammer pegs. So it's 4 versus 6, I guess. Although I'm not really sure which one they're gonna go. I guess it's just a straight up decision to make. So that's if we don't find the hook shot here in Turtle Rock.
Some people are shouting for vanilla hook shot.
Oh man,
it is not the first time that happens. So
yeah,
I would
also true. Hookless Swamp is another choice. But I don't know if you'd want to do that before the Mire area. Ooh, that's hard.
You know,
they have 3 pretty good choices actually. Well, 3 equally good choices, none of which they would like to see, but all of which they could see should hookshot not be in Turtle Rock.
All right, to be real, I feel like the vanilla hookshot in the Swamp Palace is probably the best choice because you always want to be clearing dungeons. So what's keeping the seed from having your go mode item to finish the dungeon on top of that?
Yeah. Oh, the Chain Chomper's room just being as miserable as it always is.
Thankfully, Ibis has a fairy, so he's going to be up and at him once more and making sure he gets get this chest.
Better RNG that time. I revived.
Thankfully, with Magic Powder, we can always get more fairies.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, your choices are to walk through Hookless Swamp looking for the item, or to, go do a couple of other dungeons that you can most likely clear and hopefully be able to go mode Swamp, which, is much faster. So it's kind of a rough choice either way. There's two schools of thought. I don't know what our mentors and what our runners are going to do, but, if we don't find Hookshot here, hopefully we just find Hookshot here, then we won't have to worry about it.
I feel like if you're looking for hookshot and you have a choice of going into the actual dungeon where it's French vanilla compared to other pendant dungeons, I feel like going into the Swamp Palace would be the key idea here. Because if you check all of it, including West Side, you can quickly leave out and then do the other checks for the for the other pendant checks. And if you do end up getting a hook shot, you can just go instantly to the back room of Swamp Palace to finish up the dungeon immediately.
No, you're right, but it's so many transitions to get the water drained every time.
While that may be true, the transitions that you have to do to get to the other dungeons add up as well.
No, you're right. I'm not sure what I run into do, but our lamp is coming into play a little bit here, where Josh very cleanly gets through that dark Turtle Rock room there. So maybe the lamp doesn't matter. Although if we do have to go to, well, you know, that does bring up a good point, is actually Josh has all of Pod still in items, right? And so that's going to look pretty good to him as well. Green Pendant Pod over Hookless Swamp, maybe. I'm not really sure.
Well, there's our small key to finish the dungeon. Thankfully, they took the exit out from there, so they can just go ahead and save and continue and go back into that entrance of the dungeon to be able to finish the rest of the scene. And do this last check, which is a heart.
Do we have an item left on Trinex? Because I was not really paying attention.
I'm not sure, but they're going to be doing it anyways, just to get it out the way. No point in doing all of this and then skipping Trinex.
No, for sure we're killing Trinex, but I'm just not sure
that would be silly.
Don't know if we have hookshot available or not.
Who knows? Trinex may end up having hookshot.
Buttersword Trinex, not too bad.
With half magic, let's do this.
We're taking a bit of a wrong turn here on the laser bridge, or the Samaria rails. We're corrected now.
Let's see if our runner takes to try to do the quick kill for this one. It doesn't look like it. That's okay though. Probably should have switched to the fire rod before they did the last swing, but that's okay. They got some time before the ice comes out. Up too late.
Doing the same thing I almost always do with Buttersword Trinex, forgetting that I have Buttersword. Flashes.
Thankfully, they got through that fight, and the ice is not in a terrible spot, so it should be okay to finish this fight up with a good 3 swings, and down goes Trinex.
Yeah, so Josh is going to have to make his big decision here on whether or not he's going to go, and in his case, has Pod as an additional choice without the hook shot here. We have Hookless Swamp, we have Pod, Pendant Pod, and we have the Mire in the last check of Desert. Actually, he has all of Desert, so he has 2 items in Desert still, because MisterIbis is the only one that dipped Desert.
Ibis is taking his emergency exit because he's on 3 hearts, and that would make the most sense right now.
Yeah, it's
be good to say that red potion for later, definitely.
Yeah, we got powder, we got anti-fairies in this room. I think we'll be good. Or, well, we're not gonna go there. Yeah, we are. They just line it up for him, making it real easy.
I was about to say something very inappropriate, but we'll just leave it at that.
We don't even need the magic on MisterIbis' side. Just going. All right,
yeah, cool.
Oh, we looks like we're doing Smith Chain on Josh's side. Again, that's 4 items for him. He's got the Smiths and Hammer Pegs and Purple Chest with Magic Bat.
And that will lead into the Desert Palace if Hookshot does not come up there.
Yep, it'll lead into that area. Although he has the flute, or he does not have the flute. You're right. That's true. He has to go to Pod before he can even get to the Mire area. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be a much more interesting
Josh
decision.
revving up that hammer for his hammer dash.
There we go. There we go.
Takes a while to get cranking. I understand the pain.
Now we'll see what Mr. Ibis decides to do. Whether he goes and checks the Smith chain as well, or if he's gonna go straight into the mire area or Hookless Swamp.
All right, make the big brain play. Let's do this. Aww.
Yeah, we're going to the mire area. This is the highest density for him for sure. I mean, he's got 2 items in mire, 2 items, or 1 more item in desert, plus mire shed and
checkerboard cave. Yeah.
Cave.
And he
can get in because it's also bombos.
All right, and in here, if this is hook shot, this swings into Iblis' favor by a huge amount.
Yes, and we don't have hook shot. Just more money.
Just more money and a whole heart. I mean,
got a mirror
I guess.
Mirror bunking over here on. We're trying to not run back into the portal. For when we do magic.
I'm trying to do magic back. Yeah.
Yeah. Although putting the portal right in front of the door, and then you can pick up a Cane of Samaria block, and you can't go through the portal while you're holding an item.
And it was only a heart for the blacksmith.
And he's gonna, I think, do just that here in a sec. Oh, he's gonna do it with a bomb. Oh no. That was pretty fun.
So it looks like Mr. Iblis is opting out to not go into Misery Mire. So yep. I believe they are hard committed to avoiding the rest of the pendant dungeons in order to get their gold mode item.
Yep.
And we get from Magic Bat, we get 20 rupees. Our search continues.
That is true. We're gonna go straight in here. Oh, we're gonna go get the Smiths first because we've already. You're gonna forget the Smiths.
And thanks to the fact that they got the flute, this will make going into taking a purple chest to the taking to our locksmith a lot easier.
Well, I think he'll still run down because he's got Bombo's tablet. So.
Bombo's tablet, and I think he's still got K45 in there. There's also that.
Yeah, he actually Mr. Ibis hasn't done any of the mirror checks because we didn't have the mirror the first time we were in the live.
He was never in Hype Cave. Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna have to. He's got both the north and the south Dark World checks to do mirror checks. So Graveyard Ledge and King's Doom, which I don't think he's checked King's Doom either, even with the mids. But we are gonna. Looks like we saved and quit with the purple chest. We're just gonna run it over to the guy. Maybe we do go into Desert Palace, and it looks like nothing on purple chest. Just the heart container. So still on the search for the hook shot.
Saved and quit. So what his decision here is, he may be going into Palace of Darkness now.
Yeah, I think that's probably his best play.
Going in.
No, we may go into Hookless Swamp.
Oh my goodness, Josh is doing the big brain play instead. This is going to be wild if Hookshot is in here.
Hookshot's in Hookless Swamp. This is going to be real good for Josh. I have a feeling that that's going to be the play that Mr. Ibis does too. I think we're going to go down, check K45. I think we're going to check Purple Chest. Then we're going to check Bombo's tablet, and then immediately go into Hookless Swamp. So pretty much the same thing that Josh is doing, but just in a slightly different method.
Man, these variances are weird. They all have different branching paths, but somehow lead into the same route at the same time.
Yeah, they both made the same decision here. So Hookshot's probably in luck.
On Bombo's tablet, do we have our hookshot? No, we do not. Book was not entirely required at this point.
Yep, book pretty completely useless actually in this seed. Looks like we're about to turn Purple Chest in. Get the bad news about Purple Chest and Bombo's tablet that these are not the answers we're looking for. Head over to Hookless Swamp. It looks like I think both runners are going to make the same play. So if the hookshot's in Mire, then Mr. Ibis is quite a bit ahead. If the hookshot is in Hookless Swamp, then I think we've got Josh now in the lead. Not by much. that case. The only way that MisterIbis is in a big lead is if we do have a Meyer. If we do have a Meyer hook shot. Did we check cave or checkerboard cave as MisterIbis?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure Iblis would have checked checkerboard cape at this point.
I think he may have saving quit out of Meyer shit. Maybe no, he did. You're right.
It wouldn't make much sense to only check Meyer shed if you're there.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm pretty sure the mentor definitely mentioned checkerboard cape, so.
Oh, we did get the big key already. Garbage. Cat's in. Checkerboard was bombs. Yeah, it would have made much sense to not check it. If dipping Meyer would have been a choice, yay or nay. But it looks like both runners in Hookless Swamp, which is just never a place you want to be. The only place worse than Hookless Swamp is Hammerless Swamp. Alright, well, will we get our hook shot here in Hookless Swamp? Is it going to be vanilla in the big chest?
If it's in the big key chest, the pure vanilla location, I'm going to vomit.
Oh, we got to wait a little bit longer while we check the compass chest.
Please don't tease me like this.
I'm surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised that Josh took the Hookless Swamp route with the Smith chain rather than going into pod. I guess combining the two, it is a lot of checks, but we don't get the vanilla hook shot. So we're gonna go do left side swamp the slowest way we can do it. Completely vanilla.
I hate left side swamp. All of my homies hate left side swamp.
Well, it's so much worse without the hook shot. It's yeah, it just feels bad to grab the first chest in left side swamp and then have to turn around and jump back down and walk around the long way again.
Thankfully, our runners can do diving down to skip the the one extra transition that they need to do here, unless they're okay.
They didn't have a key, so they could not.
All right.
They don't have the hook shot to grab the key.
I mean, you can still do diving down here, just a little.
I mean, you could. It just won't do anything for you.
Just.
This is a seed. Man, with the crazy roundabout route that our runners have had to go through to get this seed completed, the time is actually fairly quick.
Yeah, 1:26 and still counting. It's pretty fast to be at the last leg of the race, so to say. We still got Ganon Tower to go through, and Ganon's the gauntlet afterwards. So.
Yeah, I think the telling thing is that we got basically all of our progression but one thing, and that one thing does lock quite a bit of stuff. So,
did both of our runners get all the dungeon items here? Because it feels like they did.
No, there's one more check. Oh yeah, maybe they did. I think they did. They got big key and then map and.
All right.
Well, we got a compass, so there we go. We do not have a hook shot in Hookless Swamp, so the left side swamp is just the dungeon items. That's actually terrible.
So
did not notice that. That feels bad.
This is
definitely going to take Josh over into pod. Almost certainly. And then I think we're going to see Meyer from MisterIbis, and that puts MisterIbis quite a bit ahead, I think. Unless he does some overworld mirror checks.
I don't think he has any more mirror checks do?
I think he still has Graveyard Ledge, doesn't he?
Well, okay, you know what? Yeah, but I feel like if you're going to do something like that, I feel like going to Misery Mire instead of doing those overworld checks would be better.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's going to go into Mire. Follow the play about 9 pod. And then, we also... Josh has the opportunity, and Josh is running low on checks other than the flute, and so there's a good chance that Josh decides that killing Helmasaur for the green pendant is the correct play. Because we did skip Helmasaur over on...
Yeah, that is true.
Side. I think we get all the items out of pod except for one of the dungeon items on Helmasaur, but he also has green pendant, so there is at least one extra item. I don't know. We'll see what he does after he gets the flute and the after we get the flute
and lantern. He's gonna look at those and go, "Why are you here? Why?"
He's gonna get the lantern and be very happy that he does have to go into Mire. He doesn't have to do Dark Mire.
Yeah, that's the only takeaway from this. Finding the lantern here.
We are getting the overworld check here from.
Oh, okay. He's gonna probably end up finding Dud. Well, he's gonna end up finding Duz because I'm for sure Josh already went through all of this. So.
Yeah, he did. Josh hit it the first. He had Mirror going through Dark World, and so he went ahead and hit both of these. I think we're gonna flute right out of King's Spoon and go through Mire as soon as we find out there's nothing here.
If Green Pendant does not have our hook shot, Mire is the play, and that means Ibis have taken the lead by a huge amount, like literally a dungeon ahead.
Yep. Although if it is Green Pendant, then Josh, if he does decide to clear Helmasaur, which is not an assured thing, since he's gonna have access to all the Mire areas as soon as he grabs that flute and activates it.
There you go. Gotta make sure you light up the room.
Josh also has not done. I don't think Josh has done
Zora. He has. Yeah. That'll probably be the next place.
I don't know. That's a pretty long one-off check. When you pick up the lamp, the light goes out. You just end up in the middle of the screen.
That's cute.
So here's the Mire play. Oh, we're gonna mirror out. Do the hook lock side.
Yeah, it looks like they're skipping out on Dark Maze. Going to the boss first is a good idea.
That's not dark anymore.
It's because it's not dark anymore, but also you don't really have to do much in the dark. Like once you get to the Dark Maze, you'll want to save and quit at some point. So beating the boss first, then come back into here to the Dark Maze will be a good idea.
Yeah, we haven't done the hook lock or the bow lock side over here, but I think you're right. I think we're gonna hammer down and grab kill Helmasaur. Doing it this way.
To answer the chat, how does this mentor tournament work? Is that our runners are either beginners or intermediate players that are learning how to play the game in a more detailed manner. The mentors are, they're a roster of veterans that speed run this game quite frequently. And each week they do a Pacific Sea of some, well, not Pacific Sea, but a Pacific Sea type of some sort. Sometimes it's a Spiriture, sometimes it's like a Ambrosia, sometimes it's a open settings. But our runners are going to have the advice and have the guidance of the mentors during those seeds to be able to navigate through and whatnot and learn specific glitches on the fly and whatnot. You can check out GoMo Podcast for even more details about this mentor tournament. And if you are interested in running Link to the Past randomizer, that's also another good place to make a first stop on, as they talk about a lot of the they talk a lot about the game itself and events revolving around it.
Yep, the Discord's actually a wealth of knowledge and information. Everyone's very happy to help, to ask whatever questions you want. The mentor tournament, they do it once a year for, there seems to be different ones for different modes. I have not been along around to be able to speak clearly about that, but
Last year they did overworld glitches mentor tournament where they teaches you how to do the huge glitches in the overworld in order to navigate to complete seeds without much logic at all.
We still don't have a hook shot, and we're most of the way through Mire.
Starting to sweat bullets here.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, Ibis might be able to clear Vitreous. He might be able to actually clear all of Mire and then make it back to kill Helmasaur. Still in Dark Mage. Well, maybe not. No, if this is on Green Pendant, we got problems for Ibis.
They are missing. What are they missing to finish pod? They're not missing anything to finish Palace of Darkness. What they're missing is the hook shot to finish Swamp Palace, and Swamp hook shot could be in Misery Mire or in the Green Pendant prize from Helmsaur in Palace of Darkness.
I think that's the last two checks we have. I mean, in Josh's,
yeah.
I think in Josh's mind, he also has Zora, but I mean, I think he's going to get it here on the Green Pendant if it's not on Vitreous.
If not, then it's going to be one of the items that will lead into a hook shot for sure. Like it has to be either a mushroom or it could be the blue cane of Briorna or the cape or the shovel, and those will lead into our hook shot for sure.
We're not even going to do Dark Maze. We're going to turn the Green Pendant in immediately and get a rupee. Oh man, so I think maybe it's in Mire. Oh, there's the hook shot in the cutscene chest of Misery Mire. That just feels bad. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and go finish up Swamp Palace here, and we're in go mode on MisterIbis side at 1 minute or 1 hour 35 minutes.
But both, it's not to say that there's one guess was greater than the other. It's just a matter of who's gonna find it first, and it turns out that Iblis has found his hook shot first before Josh.
Yep, so this is officially the second race today that I have commentated where Pendant Pod has decided to main race.
But yeah, this is but yeah, I was wondering how long it'll take. I was really hoping for swamp hook shot though. That would make this game. That would make the race much closer.
For sure. The Pendant Pod, 2 races in a row, man. Pendant Pod just paying dividends. And they're gonna go through the Dark Maze Pod here on Josh's side and realize that they're about to get the flute. That they still need to go activate and get through all of Mire to the cutscene chest.
Yeah, they're gonna grab this food from the big chest. They're gonna have to activate the bird, and then they're gonna immediately go into hookshot cave. Well, not hookshot cave, but wait, do they have the flute?
Hey, did we not do the vanilla big key chest? I thought we got the flute out of pod.
Yeah, they're missing one chest. I think they did that. They're going to get that chest.
Well, I don't think we did the drop down chest either.
Yeah, there we go.
We don't have a key. This chest right here, I think, is the flute, right?
It has to be. Because
no, it could be a key.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so now they gotta go back and do the vanilla big key chest to get the flute. That doesn't feel great.
That sucks.
We're getting a good diver down here on MisterIbis' side.
Finally, some good content.
This seed has been rough.
Oh my god, no!
What? I don't think I've seen the block ever pushed into the... What?
If you somehow, like, I think if you let go of, if you move into a different direction, that happens when you're pushing against the railing like that with the block.
Yeah, so we're not even gonna. We already have. We have silvers. We have butter sword. We're not even gonna open any of these chests. Not even the diver down chests.
Yeah, silvers, buttered, half magic, as well as a blue mail. This is. You're not opening up any more chests after this. I don't care what you think. Like, if you really want to look for a red mail, then you will do that when you're looking for the big key in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I have to think that the runners are not worried about red belt anymore.
Yeah, I feel like they're pretty. I feel like they're pretty confident in dealing with this. Oh my goodness! And we're seeing some quick kill action on Ibis side, showing us how to handle Argus with the hook shot and sword out. Good poke with the buttered sword, takes him out in one hit. I believe you can do this with Temper Sword as well. I'm not entirely sure.
You can, but you have to hook dash, and so it's a much harder on the tempered sword. It's the butter sword's nice and easy because you just gotta hold it out and make sure you just spam the hook shot so that you can hook shot right away, so the sword doesn't actually have time to drop. So you can just kind of hold the sword out and spam the hook shot. You have to hook dash with the first hook shot with temper sword.
Ah, interesting.
It's very difficult, and if Argus moves straight down really fast, you just kind of can't do it. There's a couple RNGs where it becomes almost possible to zero cycle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses out. Guessing from 1 to 22 of where the Ganon's big key chest, well, big key is at. Not big key chest, but the big key. Where do you think it'll be this time, buddy?
I'm gonna guess with the way that this seed has been, I'm gonna guess it's 22. We got a tile room big key coming up.
I want to say 3.
Irritable penguin. That's 2 guesses.
I'm
gonna have to ask you to
changed
pick
it.
one.
They changed it because I
Right.
think someone else took 10. And that's the reason why they chose 17.
Oh, I gotcha.
But yeah, guessing stops the moment Master Ibis is walking when he enters Ganon's tower, which probably shouldn't take long. Just like a few screen transitions away, the opening sequence and then actually going in.
Yeah, this is gonna feel pretty bad for Josh too, because that cutscene chest is not one you're normally gonna check. Although for completeness, with the amount of checks they're left with, you probably will check the cutscene text on the first trip to the left side of Meyer. All right, spinning crystals. We've got the nice tower that with the new ROM generator has the flashing light slowed way down for our photosensitive viewers.
And the beddings are closed as we get from chest number 1, which is going to be on our right side. We get the small key. Chest number 2 will have a small key. They could incline to be doing. Oh, they are definitely doing it. They're going in to the right side compass room. Very good key dashing, by the way.
Looks like we're doing a right side clear here.
Yeah, when you get at least a key in the hope room, this is probably one of the better decisions.
I'm not sure. I always do the other route. Like I always turn the mirror, no matter what I get in the first couple chests. But I don't know. Someone needs to put a nice weighted rock paper scissors on which strat beats which other strat, depending on who's running the strat and where the big key is. Figure out which one is objectively which one beats the other strats more often.
Well, unfortunately, there was no big key in the red side. That was, I believe, check number 6. Yes, as number 7 is the torch.
So Josh is going to be really excited here in a second when he gets his hook shot to go finish off Swamp. And so he's basically down the back half of Swamp plus the first climb back up to Ganon's tower and then Ganon's tower itself so far. So
8 is the big red shield. Number 9 was the key. Shovel was number 10. 11 is 50 rupees. Am I counting this right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah,
Yep, that's 11. So this is 12. This silly room. Got the bloomerang strats. We're just not even gonna bother with boomerang strats in this room. It's just Canis Samaria.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing, to be honest.
Bonk over the fire chain. We're gonna walk up. We're gonna grab this pot. Take up number 12. No, 13. Got Rando room with 14, 15, 16, and 17. Penguin's the only guest left. Penguin's in mine. In play. There's the
Get our
red
red
mail.
mail.
Oh, he's right!
And there is our big key.
Chest number 17, right?
No, wait. I think that was because he only opened 2 of the 4 chests.
Oh, maybe it was. What was it? I don't think. Maybe it wasn't 17. Maybe I'm wrong. It was 15. You're right.
Yeah, 15. The math checks out.
All right, now we got the Gainus Tower climb here while Josh is making his way through the diver down room here.
Yeah. So I think the one that guessed it right without going was it over? Yeah, without going over would be
that'd be Mr. Aaron. Oh yeah, no, Chadber. No, Morg. Our tracker.
Yeah, Morg, our tracker.
He may have cheated.
Nah, he wouldn't have.
Just hiding it.
Well, they gets to win some internet points for today. And who wouldn't like to win internet points in a rando seed of this caliber? Like, when you think about it, you had to, okay, let's speak about it logically wise. You have to get to the dark world. Well, in order to get to the dark world, you already have like most of your 2 of your 3 items in order to get access to that, but you need to go in a Guinness cave, which has the hammer. And then from there, you have to make your way to Palace of Darkness, which had your, not only your flute, but also your lantern as well. And then you have to go to, I guess I'm going to say, you have to go to Catfish to get your Bombos medallion, to get access into your Misery Mire, to get your hook shot, among other things. But yeah, the logic that is in this seed is a little bit wonky, despite it giving us a lot of progression at the very start. Though then again, I guess that's what you could call it, a honeypot. Lure you to the false sense of security that this is a jet seed, and then just give you a hook shot hunt of all things afterwards.
Like, let's talk about the joys of the mentor tournament here, where we've got Josh and his mentor, WorldWideWimpy, learning diver down with the cane of Samaria on the fly. We'll get it here. That was pretty close.
Now, what you can do to make it easier is you push yourself down to the south wall, and then line yourself like on the railing itself. You can like run upward and push up against that railing, and then from the left side of the stairs and going down into the water. And then from there you place your block there, push it to past the railing where the right side of the stairs are at, to where the it's hard to explain it, but you know the little notches down on the ground there on the floor pattern that's on the edge?
Yeah, I see him. I just like to line up against the top right rail there in places so the block's slightly hanging over, and then you jump down in the water, down right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you lined up the block to the first one that's right on the stair, the first one on the very right side of the stair, and then do your go into the stairs and do your movement in order to clip into it, you'll do it without fail.
It takes a little getting used to the instantaneous downright movement as you're in the air. That it does take you a minute to get. So
it's like, it's kind of hard to explain it because I'm so used to doing it, but like, it's like when you hear the sound at the very least, that's when you can start holding the down right. And then once you hear the splash or see yourself splashing into it, you do have a bit of leeway to hold down immediately afterwards, because you'll start moving down right once you get into the water. And then from there, you should be able to exit out to do the clip into.
Got a pretty good Aga 2 fight there from MisterIbis. Aga trolling him with some blue balls on some pretty good doubles and triples patterns. Looks like we're gonna add Diver Down with the cane to our practice list.
Yeah, looks like Johnson needs to do a little bit more field work on that one before going ahead and taking that one on once more. But I feel like once you learn the exact area where you need to start doing it, it'll just become second nature afterwards.
That's absolutely true. From my own experience, like that was one of the last tricks that I learned, to be honest. I just could not figure it out, and finally there's like an epiphany moment you have. But we're fighting Ganon with Butter Sword over here, so just
we're gonna make quick work of this bacon. Have you ever buttered your bacon before? This is a legit question, by the way.
I've never buttered my bacon. No, I usually like just crispy bacon with nothing else on it.
I heard people like to put butter on their bacon.
You know, if I've got pancakes and the butter, melts off onto my bacon, that's acceptable. But yeah, Butter Sword Ganon with silver arrows and red mail. We're fully armed and armored. We're ready to go.
I mean, you know what? You could also do Torch Glitch, and you can still, well, you can even skip Torch Glitch, and you'll still be in good standing.
I think with Half Magic and the Fire Rod, you almost want to skip Torch Glitch so you can get your first silver hits in.
Get your first silver hits in, and then hope for like a triple at some point. Now, if Ibis manages to take a swing at Ganon at that point, he would definitely be primed up in a good position to be able to do a bit of
oh, we got a slash damage. We got a slash damage.
Wow.
One flame slash damage on Ganon there.
Would you believe you have a one frame opening to do slash damage on Ganon that way? That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and in swordless modes, apparently it's a one frame window to hammer them.
But yeah, down goes Ganon. Get your GGs out for Ibis. That's the Ibis, finishing with a time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 36 seconds. Excellent work dealing with this seed of this nature, because good lord.
Yeah, we got an official race time GG time of 1:51:34. And looks like Josh, we got a forfeit out of Josh.
Yeah, that's understandable. This seed kind of threw both of our runners in for a loop with the hunt for the hook shot. For it to be a misery mire, that has to be a hurtful feeling, because you had to go into pod in order to get the flute, in order to get into misery mire to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, the logical progression was pretty gross, because you would have had to dig game before even getting the land to do dark.
Yeah.
Although, I guess big chest is where that was. So. Well,
dig game only had the flippers, and I feel like both of our runners will be going to the dig game regardless regardless of the logic of this seed. If Swamp Palace was a crystal.
Be fun to ask Dawn what he thinks of Pendant Pod paying out again.
Give us a moment to see if we can pull in our runners if they're inclined to take an interview to get their thoughts on this seed and what they have learned so far.
All right, looks like we've got MisterIbis and Dawnvenure. GG's.
GG's.
So Don, I had a question for you first thing here.
Yeah.
Is Pendant Pod the answer?
Well, didn't it just had flute and what, lamp? That's about it.
I know, but you needed it to get hookshot. Pendant Pod was still the answer.
Oh yeah, you needed it for
that's
Meyer
which always
access.
fun, isn't it?
And we are joined as well with WorldWideWimpy
Josh,
and
coming in here in a minute.
Josh.
That hook shot, that's an evil hook shot location.
It sure
Yeah.
was. You know, you guys, you know, both of you guys decided at the same time, like synced up to go into Hookless Swamp to look for it. And then left side just decided to troll you as bad as it possibly could and give you both dungeon items.
Yeah, and when I was over in Eastern, I was like, okay, we should probably do pod, and I'm like, hold on. Well, if we don't find anything in Eastern, our mountain access has to be in pod. It could be lamp. We don't need the lamp. I'll coach you through TR Darkroom easy. No problem. Let's just rush crystals. And flute ended up being in big key chest, and stupid hookshot is in cutscene, and it's just like, well.
Yeah, well, we had a moment watching both of you guys where we were like, well, you know, this is the moment of truth here, because we were sitting in my air with the last two checks, Vitreous and the cutscene chest, while you were getting ready to turn in the green pendant. And we were like, well, if it's on green pendant, then Josh is way ahead. And if it's on, if it's in Meyer, then we've got MisterIbis ahead.
And
Yeah, that's just hard feels at that point. It's just like, okay, because I asked Josh, I'm like, do you feel behind at this point? He's like, yeah, I feel a little behind. I'm like, okay, if we find Big Key on the right hand side, just go kill Helmelsaur. We'll go turn in green pendant, and maybe hookshot's there and dumb. If not, we'll come inside, see what our mountain access was, whether it was flute or lamp, or if it was both. And I was going through my head, is there anything else that we really could have needed in pod that would have gotten us anything? I'm like, no. I'm like, if it's lamp, then we have to go into desert. If there's something else in pod, and it ended up being flute in big key chest, and it's just the worst ever.
yeah, and
that layout didn't go very well for your
Yeah,
choice to go get green pendant either, did it?
There was a mixed line. He asked if he should go back or to the front, and I misunderstood that as go back, as in going to the front back, not back, and that's just me and my dumb brain.
though,
Right,
to be perfectly honest, the decisions y'all made were perfectly fine. It's just that in these cases, unlike on another seed, that green pendant could have led into the hook shot. Like nothing was guaranteed at all. So there was no wrong way. There was no complete wrong way going into this seed, because we do not have like the stored knowledge of which key item is in exactly where, unless you're playing a spoiler run.
You know, I also liked the fact that the seed decided to make you guys play with fighter sword for like almost all of the seed, and then proceeded to give you all of the possible sword upgrades within like a 2 or 3 minute period.
Yeah, it was definitely really swingy, the seed. It's like, okay, you were doing good. You got to do all this stuff with just fighter sword. Fine. You can have swords, I guess. Here, have them all.
They're like, oh,
My
finally a
question
master.
is when did you guys pick up hammer?
Fairly late. I think we've only had logically Agina's cave and Zora left.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, they got it
that's-
way later than you guys did, and they started Village of Outcasts, so they didn't get the mirror right away. So you guys started Hype Cave and got mirror like immediately after getting Dark World access.
Yep, and then we looped around, found that Bombos on Catfish. I was like, "Oh, okay, that might be useful." We had Titans, Bits, and Bombos. I almost sent him into Ice Palace from there. I'm like, we've got some stuff we could check first.
Yeah, because at my point, saying, okay, hey, we can do Ice Palace. We don't have a ton of health, but we have all the items to do it. It's just, yeah, no brainer. Let's go do the Red Crystal.
Yeah, and we just kind of like preparing safeties because like we had full powder and net, so it's really easy to at least be safe enough to complete Ice Palace.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you both of you guys had pretty good cold stare fights with the fire rod and half magic. I think MisterIbis went and checked. So Josh took that unfortunate death in for half magic in Dark Cross. Went back for it later. So MisterIbis had it a little earlier.
Yeah, that half magic really paid off with that fire rod, being able to kill so many bosses much more quickly than you could have with just regular magic and fighter sword.
Yeah, it was definitely worth going back into, especially if you messed up Girl Cross the first time. It definitely paid out a lot more, even because of that.
You know, I will say that I think you gave us a heart attack, Josh, when you almost skipped Hobo. We thought you were gonna skip Hobo, then you mirrored to it, and we were like, okay, good.
Yeah, there were a few times where got excited to do something else and then got reminded very swiftly to actually do the things that were part of the route that we were talking about. And yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
let's
was
just see.
I was telling Josh when we did Hobo, I'm like, okay, now a lot of people don't do it this way, but how we're looping this together to do it, it makes perfect sense to go ahead, skip Hobo from there, and loop it in with our mirror check over here, go up and turn in, a pyramid, kind of see what that is, head over in this direction.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what we were saying. We were like, well, it looks like you forgot, so you gave us a heart attack, and then immediately went and got it with the mirror, and we were like, oh, that's actually probably faster because you want to be in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, I mean this seed in general just well, you in Rando you have to make a decision to go right or left, and then sometimes you just guess wrong, and not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it. Just sometimes that's how it turns out, and you look like a clown, but it's okay.
Oh, you didn't look like a
You
clown.
definitely
You were
didn't look like
fine.
Oh, you definitely. I was gonna say none of y'all look like a clown at that point. The only time you'll probably looking like a clown is if you end up skipping a few chests in a dungeon that is deep into it, like Rock, and saving quitting after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we both dip swamp at the same time because I think we both had the same thought of, okay, but if it's there and the other person does it, because you probably could, that could just blow the seed up because it's the only decent density left.
That was my thinking with turning in the green pendant, was if they came in here, found lamp, went up the mountain, they would have skipped green pendant. So let's go do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So you guys both probably feeling behind then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not in, as a general rule, if I'm not in GT by like an hour and a half, I'm gonna start having concerns unless it's like a worse seed even than this one. I've played some truly terrible seeds with like, like a blind pull on PED. Then you start thinking, okay, we're gonna be going over 2 hours, but by 1:30 or so, you should be feeling like I should be in GT by now, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one
So that
especially was
didn't feel
like,
good. And we were trying out, a diver down on the fly, and I just got to get into the practice hack and get the coordination down. I was having issues there before. It was a good 5 minutes of trying to do it, and then I was like, I just clearly need to go into the practice hack and do it.
Well,
Yeah, no harm in doing that.
Mentor tournament's the time to do it. So
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool routing some stuff in on the fly, like doing the dark TR. I have literally never done that before, so.
Told him it was so easy, and he was so gleeful when he got through it.
yeah, I was gonna say it didn't look like you'd never done it before because I don't even think you turned the wrong direction.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
you did it really cleanly. So
this is the joke where I say, we're bowling with the rails on. We have people that are better than us to tell us what to do, especially with more advanced tech than we would know on our own. So that's something I didn't really know on my own. We were about to do, the dark pod maze, but then we found the lamp, so that ended up not happening. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was all right. This is the second seed where I got boomed by a terrible item location. I had a true ice rod hunt on ladder the other day, so we're continuing the streak of just a terrible last go mode item here.
You haven't been a true runner of Rando until it's made you so salty and depressed that you said, "I want to stop doing this."
Yeah, I figured I would respect. I figured I would respect everyone's time by not being here for another 20 minutes to beat the rest of the game. So I was like, we're done here.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that's understandable.
And wins and losses right now really don't matter. It's getting the coaching is the most important part at this point. So, and Josh did excellent. He took everything I was giving him in. Super successful on the TR Darkroom. That is so intimidating for people who've never done it before. I'm like, dude, you literally hold 4 directions and you're good.
Yeah. I just got to practice that and diver down like 50 odd times until it's like in my muscle memory, like, Icebreaker is.
Yeah, I
That's my
promise.
big issue.
As soon as you manage to get the downright input as you're jumping into the water, when you finally get it to how it feels, like you just won't ever miss it. It's
Yeah. It made me chuckle because he was saying, like, you know how to do a Hadouken, right? And I'm like, oh, I have never ended up playing Street Fighter before.
nice.
Yeah, it really kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Hadouken. That's what you do.
Yeah. So
I know I'm not.
You
a
guys
Oh,
don't say
yeah.
Hadouken when you do diver down. You guys are lame.
Yeah.
I go
wouldn't say-
pachu when I shoot a laser from my sword. Come on.
I wouldn't say a Hadouken for diver down, but I would say a Hadouken for mimic clipping and stuff, though.
Okay, yeah, that. Well, I don't think I have any other questions to add on to this, unless you do, my Vex. Do you have any questions?
No, I think we're good. Any last comments on the seed or from our runners?
If anyone is in chat who's in the mentor tournament, needs a mentor to stick with them, or needs one on the fly, I am open availability. I don't know how Josh's opinion of me as a coach is, but I'm sure he'd be.
No, it was great. Especially on the short notice that we had with events this week, and I'm really grateful for all your coaching. You helped me out in a little pickup race a couple weeks ago and taught me some stuff. So that's why you were like the first one I asked, because I was like, well, you're kind of are familiar with my skill level already, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, depending on schedules and who I get paired up with next week, we'll see. We'll see about that again. I definitely want to spend some time in the practice hack with who I get mentored by next, and you can also see me clown around on the ladder too. Wink, wink.
That's where the true suffering is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I go from dropping a sub 120 on ladder last week to getting boomed with an ice rod hunt and now a hook shot hunt. Welcome to Rando.
I just laugh. Just gotta laugh at it. It doesn't make
Yeah.
you as salty when you're just like, wow, this is ridiculous, and it's kind of funny.
Yep, that's why we play, or something along those lines. So yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks to the crew and our commentators. Hope everyone has thrown them a follow. GG's to MisterIbis for the win. Played well. And well, I guess we'll see y'all in future races.
All right. Good job out there. And thank you very much
All
for going with this as for being broadcast to everyone out here to look and see. Do give our runners a follow on their respective Twitch channels, as well as our mentors who did a fantastic job for today's seed. Give a shout out to our tracker, Morgcl, for tracking all the hot action for us during that time, as well as our restreamer, John Snuu, who took the time to piece everything together for us through this restream. Thank you very much, Vex, for being my co-commentator. Give this guy the follow for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Esper, for leading the way.
And with that, do not forget that Gomo Podcast do have a site. If you want to see more speedrun in action, Go take a look at the site to see the scheduling for the next set of matches, as well as their podcast, which talks about the ins and outs of this game, as well as a few other events that revolves around this game as well. It's definitely worth checking out, as well as their Discord. With all that said and done, I'm EsperHubb, and along with Vex, thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.
All right, beautiful. You guys are clean.
Great.
Great.